Hi everyone, this is Darrell Lonnie with the head men's basketball coach here at Western Oregon, Craig Stanger. We're going to talk about his team today. We're going to talk about the league race, which is right around the corner. Let's go to your team. Where do you feel your team is, Craig? Strengths, weaknesses, what do you need to work on, what have you been working on, etc.?
Well, how much time do you have? I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about where we are. We're 4-2. Obviously, those losses, they were winnable games, and that's encouraging. We coaches want to win them all, but we learned some things from those losses, and I'm encouraged. It's fixable stuff, and so that's good. With a lot of youth that we have, a lot of new bodies, I'm pleased with the energy, pleased with the direction that we're heading. And the next 3-4 games, I think, will be very telling as to where we may size up when it comes to league play.
I liked your perimeter way back in early practice sessions, and that's proving to be pretty much true, isn't it? You have people who can, a lot of people who can handle the ball, shoot the ball from the outside, and shoot the three for you.
We do, and we definitely want to use that as a strength, to use that depth at those positions to really wear down other teams, to keep the tempo up, and to really be aggressive both offensively and defensively.
Up front, Rico Miles certainly has made a big difference, especially in rebounding.
Rico has been a very pleasant acquisition that we got from Morgan State, and he's a great young man, works very hard, and is if there's a rebound out there to be had, he's going to go get it. And he's got some very good goals that he's set forth, and being very aggressive to try to attain those goals, and he's been a very good addition to our team.
How about your other guys on the front line?
They too have been developing well. We have some youth. Our experienced Mike McLaughlin at the power forward position, he's done a nice job. His stat line maybe doesn't look as good as previous years. Part of that is with Rico being here, and they share the rebounds a little bit, but that gives us two very solid rebounders in the game, which has helped us a lot and enabled us to have an advantage in the rebounding category. The other guys, like I said, we're a little young, but Zach Davis is learning more and is definitely a physical. And Colton Nelson is also doing some things, and Gabe Thrash has been a physical impact player for us as well.
All right, let's talk about the league, and let me start with this. Conceivably, or maybe realistically is the word, how many teams do you think, Craig, can you get from this 9-team league to the playoffs at the end of the year?
It's somewhat hard to say. Traditionally, we get around 3. Just the strength of the conference in and of itself, and that's one of the biggest impressive things about this year's performance so far. Our conference is doing an unbelievable job against other regional opponents, against the Pac-West Conference and the California Collegiate Conference particularly. In fact, I don't think we've lost a game against the California Collegiate Conference yet. Wow. I'm not sure we've ever done that before. And so with that dominance, that's definitely going to help our chances of getting an extra team in because of strength of schedule.
Let's do a rundown. Let's do a rundown on everybody. Have you make a couple of comments on everybody in the league. So let's start with, with your travel partner, Northwest Nazarene.
Actually, our travel partner
St. Martin's.
St.
Martin's, correct myself. Start with Northwest Nazarene and then do St. Martin's.
Okay. Northwest Nazarene is a much improved team from last year. They finished just 1 spot ahead of us in the rankings last year. Athletic, deep, they have a definite post player that is hard for people to stop. And some very good shooting, perimeter players. They're going to be able to do some good things.
St. Martin's we have seen.
St. Martin's we have seen, and he's done a very nice job. They're very fundamentally solid. They don't beat themselves. They get good execution. They too have a post presence that is hard to stop, and they will be a formidable force this year.
They lost some players and they were rated down. In fact, Coach was telling me they were rated way down, 8th or something in the league. But it doesn't appear they're going to finish 8th. They play hard and get after it, don't they?
They do, and I think that is a trademark not just of them, but also of our entire conference. Everyone's playing very hard, and I think many of us are better than people thought. And certainly I'd like to give our guys credit too. You know, we're playing better than what people had picked for us to finish. And so it'll be interesting once the league does begin as to where everyone will kind of fall into play. I think it's going to be a very competitive year. From top to bottom, the top team and the bottom team are going to be very closely matched. There are going to be no nights off for anybody.
All right, let's do a couple more. Montana State Billings.
Montana State Billings, George has done a very nice job of bringing in a lot of new talent, junior college and Division I transfers. They are very talented and have extreme quickness at the guards that will be a definite challenge for us, or any team for that matter, to go against. And as they gel, I think they'll be a force as well.
Seattle Pacific, great history.
Great history, and continuing that. They play well together. They had a very successful group last year. Virtually everyone but one player returned, and they are showing that they're not letting up. So they will definitely be the team to beat this year.
Let's do the Washington, Central and Western. Start with Central.
Central, he uses a lot of players. They all work hard. They get up and down the floor quickly, show good athleticism, very active as a team. I would say right now, early on, their one weakness has been their ability to shoot the ball. They haven't shot particularly well in some games, but defensive tenacity and execution, he'll be right there. Western Washington, much like Seattle Pacific, returned a lot of talented players, had a couple of good red shirts in the wings, and I want to say they're 9-1 or 8-1, so they'll be a formidable force as well. I expect them to be another one of the teams to beat.
Here's the last two, of course, the toughest road trip because it takes you 5 or 6 days to get there, it seems like. Alaska Anchorage and Alaska Fairbanks. How about Anchorage, first of all, Craig?
Anchorage is a much improved team from last year, and if anyone had the, I don't want to call it privilege, but if anyone had to play them towards the last of the season last year, realized what a difficult team they were. They had to overcome some injuries to their roster that somewhat decimated them last year. Those players are back. He brought in a couple of good recruits, and so depth-wise they're a much improved team, very active team, and will be very difficult to stop.
Fairbanks,
they also improved. They struggled. They finished last in the conference last year. They do have their main scorers back. He also brought in a junior college transfer from Chicago that has been showing good promise for them. So they lack, I think, the depth maybe that some of the other teams in the conference has, but their top 5 or 6 are as good as anybody.
Let's close with this, Coach. How about styles of play offensively in the league? Do most of the teams want to get up and down the floor and run the ball, etc., or do you have divergence of styles depending on who you're playing on a particular night?
There is a divergence of styles somewhat. There aren't the extremes. We don't really have any truly methodical half-court teams. They don't exist really in the conference. The conference is made up of a lot of really good shooters that want to get out into the open floor and be able to attack that way, then have 1 or 2 very versatile post players to go with that combination. So it's a very fast-paced action in our conference, and it's really fun to watch.
Should be great. It's going to be really exciting, everybody. I hope you'll get out and support the Wolves at all the home games. League season right around the corner. Darrell Lonnie with the head men's basketball coach at Western Oregon, Craig Stanger.